How we doing, everyone? MJS here. Welcome back to another video, another installment of the Our First Home series. So today is Thursday, April 14th, and it's an interesting day because as a little bit of an update since the last time I recorded, it's gotten a little bit warmer, at least on select days. Yesterday I think it was like 80 degrees, but it's still springtime, so it's not like direct sun, like heat all the time, like throughout the day, but it did get hot. And an interesting thing to note, this house like starts off cool in the morning and then gets like hotter during the day and mostly actually towards the nighttime. I'm sure that's not really out of the ordinary, but right now we haven't turned on the AC because we're about to work on that today. Spoiler, but yeah, it was pretty hot. So luckily the fan in the office here works, but the fan in the bedroom doesn't work. We've got to fix that. I think there's just a little problem with the little motor in the ceiling fan there. But regardless of all that, today my dad is coming and we're going to work in the attic again, just like old times a few months ago. And we're going to take care of all of the air vents, like to kind of explain how this house works is, so that I believe is a return. We're in the office here. That's a return. And then this thing with the piece of cardboard over it is the supply. I just did that because it was like spilling shit. The little metal duct part was kind of like falling out of the ceiling over here. So I just put that up there as a temporary solution. It won't look like that. But the point is that this house didn't have like air conditioning in it from the start. And it doesn't have ductwork running through like the walls and like the, in between the floors and everything like that, like most, homes with, full-blown AC do. The way that this works, there's a unit outside, there's an air handler in the upstairs. If you've been watching the vlogs when we're in the attic, you'll see it. Probably see it today too. But that's kind of how it works. And it just, air conditions the main floor here. There's nothing on the basement floor, which is actually interesting too, because I'm not sure, there's probably a way to do that, but that's just not how this is set up. It's just like, kind of like flexible flex duct running in the attic, kind of looks like a big spider almost. And then it comes down and just pops through the ceiling on this main floor, and then kind of cools and just does the whole thing. So point is that we need to do some insulation. From what I understand, my dad will be able to tell me more, but I think from what we need to do, from my understanding up there, is we're going to change out each of the little like duct things, at least the return ones, because they're a little dusty and dirty up there. I don't know how well you can see that, but we're going to change out like that little metal piece there. We're going to put new grills on, so just new like white, grills that go on that thing right there. Like you're used to seeing like an actual register there. So we're going to put new registers on. We're going to change at least some of the duct work, they're called boots, like metal boots right there, that end part where the duct ends. And then pretty sure we're going to change most, if not all, of the actual like flexible ducting up there, and we need to insulate the actual unit up there better. We also, I'm not sure if we're going to do it today or like the next time, next week sometime or something like that. But we also finally have our Google Nest learning thermostat, third generation one, not the new one as of this year, because it wouldn't have worked with our thing. Hopefully this one works. But we have to put that in. So it's going to be very cool, literally, hopefully after this. And hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully the Nest thermostat doesn't give me any issues, because I'm going to make a whole separate video on the smart house thing, and I'm going to absolutely ream some of these Google products for just the BS that I've had to put up with. That's totally different, conversation. But let's see what we can do here. Hopefully we can cool this house off. All right, it is later in the afternoon, still on Thursday here, and yeah, me and my dad put in another solid day of work, working obviously on the air conditioning stuff. Let me update you, and I just closed up the attic, so I'm not opening it up again, but maybe I'll take some pictures or something, just so you can kind of see, or maybe I'll be up there again next week or whatever, so it doesn't matter. But point is, let's take a look and talk about kind of what we found and what we ended up doing. First, we're here in the office, and obviously you can see I took the shit off my desk, some of the stuff, put it over here, kind of cleaned off Amanda's desk because I didn't want to have anything underneath where we were working. And obviously you can see up there that it's still cardboarded because that like hole, so if we look over here, the hole that is cut out over where that cardboard is too big. it's like 11 by 6, and these are generally like 10 by 6. So the point of this is the company that installed this for Amanda's family at the time in this house, absolutely terrible. Don't know who they are, don't really care, but I mean, it's just a terrible installation all around. So not really a big deal. We're fixing this stuff, but it's just kind of funny because it was very bad. They didn't cut holes right. Shit's like not, like it's crooked when you look at it against the wall, like the lines, a lot of the hole lines here, it's not, the same, it's not the same gap throughout like that area there. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal, but it's just kind of funny. We're fixing that up. My dad is obviously very knowledgeable. We're appreciative of all the help that he's given us here. So we had the opportunity today to mess with that. Looked at those ones specifically there. Decided we might do something different here because we got to make some more cuts and stuff. And that's fine because we didn't get anything too crazy messy here today. That's fine. Let's go out here and talk about this. So there's like kind of had a little drop cloth down here. Messed around with this. We put a register there. We didn't really have to do much there. The boot, like the little duct piece in there was fine. Just screwed the register up there. Over here, screwed one in here. That's supply, so like that blows cold air. Over here, this is a return. So we're probably gonna change that or at least clean it out and stuff like that. And I gotta show the flex duct and everything like that upstairs. It's just like, looks like a big snake spider web thing up there. But it's kind of cool. I learned a lot today. So this is a return though, and it sucks like the air back up, like I guess the hot air, I guess in a sense. But the point is here that we don't want like a register there where you can like adjust it. You see there's like a little adjuster thing on there. You want something that just kind of like is just always open. So we need a grill, and we didn't do that yet there. So there's that. Then we have Minnie. Hello, Minnie. She was very scared throughout the whole process. She was underneath the bed, curled up in a ball. Now she's just chilling. Probably disturbed her nap time and her eating time, so she's probably going to be hungry and such here soon. But if we go back out here, we'll go in the kitchen first. It's a mess. There's shit everywhere. But put this one up. Didn't have too much of a trouble there. I think it actually, again, the way they put it in, kind of shittily, the boot and stuff, it was kind of a pain in the ass. But I got it to work. I moved some screws around and stuff like that, and it's up there. It's fine. It's blowing cold air. Can't be too mad. And then over here in the living room by the door, we had another one, and you can see right here how bad that is. That's really not straight. But I can't really do too much about that because of the way that basically the hole was cut in the ceiling, which we didn't do. So yeah, kind of annoying on that front. And then we already had that one there, but we kind of fixed that one up. That is the bigger return that we made. Hopefully it sucks a lot of air up and makes everything a little cooler and the whole system run better. And then this one over here was kind of a pain just because it was like over the couch and I have to kind of clean up some of the little bit of debris and stuff like that. But it's blowing cold air. I wonder if you can hear that on the microphone. But it's nice. It's very nice to have cool air in the house because we didn't have that, here the last couple days. But overall, we spend a lot of time upstairs because we had to insulate the return because it wasn't insulated at all. Also, not what you're supposed to do. Not supposed to leave that uninsulated because you just lose air conditioned. You just make the whole system harder to run. The unit outside seems fine. We did a little bit of a load, not like a load calculation, but like some sort of calculation to see like if the air blowing out of the vents there, based on what we have it set out, based on what you have the temperature in the house currently at, and like the humidity and all that. There's a way to like kind of take all that information and make sure that the system and the unit thing outside is actually charged properly. Like there's enough like, I don't know, some sort of gas, freon, or I don't know, some sort of shit in there. Kind of just to make sure it's all running properly and all is up to good. I think it's good from what we saw, so that should be nice. And like really the main thing, after we insulated and everything like that, we did this. But the thing that I'm most excited about, one of the coolest things, is our beautiful now. That was sick. I don't know if the camera caught that. Let me try to go back around the corner, and then I don't know if it's gonna be already off though, but probably won't be. But that was pretty sick. It had like a little proximity sensor thing on it. So this is the Nest Thermostat 3rd generation, and I'm happy about it because it's been sitting in a box for a long time. Kind of looks shitty on the camera here, but But it's pretty cool. Honestly, like, you mess with it like this, you go and you change the temperature and everything like that. I don't know really where we want to have it set at yet, but you do that, and then like you can, this is just like a little ring, and it's kind of cool. But the point is that this is a smart device, and you don't even have to use this. Like, all the settings for this are on the Nest app. Like, you don't even need to go to the thermostat. Like, that was really interesting when we were setting it up, because I didn't really end up doing this, but I could have been like up in the attic and us working on it and then like testing it from there. So I don't know, it's just kind of really cool, that sort of stuff. The one thing I will say is maybe I'll put this might actually really be important, and it was something we did today. So I'm gonna put something on the screen here, just to kind of explain the wiring diagram that we had to do and what we had before. We had 2 different thermostats in this house. There was 2 thermostats. There was one where that one was, and there was one over here that you can never even tell, haha, because it's all gone now. But there was one for the air conditioner and one for the boiler and the heat. And now we just have obviously the one, but it wasn't actually that difficult. But there, stuff like that, that's the thing that people you don't realize when you're doing home renovation or literally anything else, is like, your situation is probably gonna be like a medley of other people's situations. It's not gonna be like, oh, here's exactly how you do this. So we kind of had to play around with that. I think it took us a couple tries, but it works great. The boiler works, thermostat works for the boiler, works for the AC, and it's blowing nice cool air right now. So I am very happy. Amanda's gonna be very happy. No more fan usage. Long term, and just kind of a look ahead, because I'm not sure next time I'll film. Probably next time we do some of this stuff, I think that'll be the next major big thing, probably next week, is we're gonna change it up a little bit, I think. There's 6-inch ductwork, like flexible ductwork up there right now. We're gonna change some of the returns to 8-inch, because it's like just better for the system, like more airflow, like returning and stuff like that. It's a good chance that we'll do that. We got to finish obviously a couple different rooms, because the office doesn't really have air conditioner right now. That sucks. That's where I sleep. But oh well. I got a fan, and I got to fix the fan in the bathroom, in the bedroom too. So, but other than that, I think that's it. That was a hell of a good progress day, and I'm super excited about this Nest thermostat, just because that's another little smart device that we can finally just check off the list that we actually installed. So that is where we're at. So today is Wednesday, April 20th. I think the last time I filmed anything was when my dad was here and we were working on the air conditioning system thing that we got going on in the attic. And we got far away. I'm pretty sure I talked about like all the things that we put up, all like the different runs that we kind of changed a couple things, put registers and all that sort of shit on there. Very educational, very productive. Today, he's coming back. We're gonna kind of fix some things up and finish it up. So we'll start in the office here. We have this thing still on the ceiling here, just this piece of cardboard, because the hole was actually too big for the register that was there before. So we're gonna make the hole a little bit bigger and put a bigger return grill in there. We're also gonna change some stuff in the attic. I'm gonna try to get some clips in the attic today. Not really of us working, but just to kind of show that, because it's kind of interesting really when you actually break it down. This one over here was a return before, but we're going to switch this to make it a supply, so the air comes, out this and into the room here. It's kind of dirty up there. Probably going to have to either clean that metal piece there or replace it. Not sure yet. But this is kind of our plan here, and maybe I should put this on the screen as well. But we have an outline of the house, and then obviously that's from our renders and everything like that we did. And then I put each one, like where the return and the supply is and everything, and then we have this little list of stuff that we need to kind of do and everything. So we got some material, but basically our task list today here, we just go over that real quick, because I got to clean out those return boots or replace those or whatever. We have to cut holes in the air handler upstairs, like the return part of it, to make them bigger, because we're going to make like bigger duct work from the return to the return, like basically from the return thing up there to this thing. I'll kind of show you that. And that's just going to allow more airflow to come back, make the system overall better. Install the office boot, which is this guy up here. We got to, like I said, make that bigger install thing. We have to do some more insulation work up there along the air handler, just to, insulation is good in HVAC, duh. I didn't know that at first, but yeah. So switch office and supply return, like I said, we're just gonna kind of take the, maybe I can kind of show you here real quick. There's a little thing up there. It's kind of full of like dust. It's probably hard to see. But there's like a piece that's like wrapped around this metal collar almost there. And that runs to that air handler thing upstairs. It's just how the air moves around. So we have to switch that. So we're just basically changing the path that each one of these ones in here take. And then just install some registers and some grills. So like put a little thing over that one. This guy right here is gonna go over there. And then last thing, really we're just working the office and the bedroom today. And we gotta work on that guy right there. We're gonna do kind of a similar type of deal there. So Minnie's gonna be scared. She's gonna be under the bed, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. All right, it's like 4 hours later. My dad just left. It was one of those days, you know, one of those good old days that we had months ago. You know, we had one last week too, but yeah, I'm tired. I'm wet. My whole shirt is soaked. I was in an attic. It's not even that hot outside, so I can't imagine being in there like in real summertime. And I would never do this as a job. So a lot of respect to HVAC peoples. Where do we start? First thing we did, I'll just kind of run you back through it here in the office. First thing we did was put this guy in, and I kind of fucked it up a little bit. It's just a grill for the return there, but you can kind of see it's a little dimpled in there. It doesn't look really great. I could probably mess with that a little bit, but very interesting HVAC work. You know, just putting like something in a ceiling like that. There's a lot that goes into it, especially when you have an insulation that was already done many years ago and it's kind of fucked up. The holes in the ceiling were just bad. Not straight, like off the wall and everything like that. So it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really think it's that noticeable. I mean, I would never really notice it, and it's not like it's crazy, like not straight, in my opinion. So I don't really give too much of a fuck about it. I am going to mess with that a little bit to see if I can kind of bend that register, that grill thing back together there with a little bit of that. But that's where it's at right now, and it works and it's fine. So that is totally fine with me. But point that I'm making here is I had to take an oscillating tool and like basically there, you know, there's a hole underneath that, right? And I had to cut out more of a hole, you know, make the hole bigger so we could fit this new thing in there because the sizes were all wonky and shit from the original install. So we had to do that, and you know, obviously we had a big mess here, and it's a little bit cleaner now, but I'll overlay some footage of what it looked like in here before. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, not great. It was very dusty, very dirty, just because like the ceiling up here is totally plaster. So plaster everywhere.
I tried to make duck dinner, now plaster everywhere.
And yeah, it was just not fun. So that's why I covered up the computer and everything like that. Hopefully everything's still good. I imagine it is. But yeah, I got all the big stuff off. I gotta wipe that up. And then kind of, you know, do that there. And then over on this side, we kind of did the same thing. I can't remember what we did in what order and stuff like that, but this one's kind of a little fucked up too. If you kind of look at it, it's probably not like super straight, but again, not a big deal. It's going to throw cold air, and there was not air conditioning in this room after our other day of work, so I'm going to be excited now when I work and sleep in here. But so we put that one in, changed a bunch of shit upstairs. I'm actually going to go in the attic here in a second. So, but yeah, it was messy over here too. Yeah, I just kind of did a little bit of cleaning. Got to continue to do that and just get this place looking back, you know, put together and everything. But we should be very good now. I mean, like that was this is a huge thing. And again, very grateful that my father has so many years of experience and a bunch of shit like that. You know, I mean, we didn't have to buy any of this stuff, you know, registers and all the stuff that we did. So happy about that. And here in the bedroom, we got that. Minnie is under the bed, scared and terrified. But we have over here this this one as well. This is like that same type of thing. It's like the grill over there that I fucked up, but this one's a little smaller, and there's like a little bit of a chip there. I don't even remember doing that. I don't really think I don't know if I did that or not. But same deal here. You know, it's adequate, not a big deal. Works, everything's fine. So I might touch that up a little bit with some little what's it called, little spackling. Been a minute since I spackled. So that, and then honestly, that's like literally all we did. Like that, those are the improvements down here that you see. because everything else was in the attic, So, and there was dirt and shit like that, and I kind of cleaned up some of that. But let's go up here because I wish I would have done a better job at documenting what the attic looked like before, because we have done a lot of fucking work up here. So let's go take a peek. All right, so we're up here and it's hot. And yeah, I mean, again, I wish I would have done a better job at documenting, but I have like one more like kind of important piece to do up here. And then depending on if we do anything else to like the kitchen, maybe we have to be back up here again. But let's kind of just talk about it, I guess. So we come up the steps here, this ladder, and then over here. I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff over there. We didn't really do that today at all, but that's a little helium miner antenna. And then we had the right here. We had to make like, I insulated everything so you can't really see anything, but there's like a boot in there, like a piece of metal that goes into the ceiling there. And then there's like, my dad like put like an elbow in there, so there's like another piece of ductwork, and then this stuff you just kind of like, like attach with tape and wire ties, and then you do this, and like this is what the air flows through. These black ones back here, these bigger ones, are actually returns, so that's where the air goes back into that big system thing there. But this should really do a much better job than what it was before. These are 8-inch return ducts here, flex duct stuff, so hopefully, I don't know the exact signs, but apparently it moves more air, so I guess that's better. We put in this new 6-inch flex one because we swapped those two, like I was saying, in the office. So the one over Amanda's desk now pushes the air like into the room, and the one by my desk takes it out. So that's that return there. And I mean, the last thing was I just needed to insulate around those little pieces of metal so they don't like condensate and drip everywhere. If you can see right here where this silver stuff is, that's insulation. We had to insulate that return. We did that last time we were here, but then there's another part down there, and I'm not gonna go down there because like I don't have my knee pads on. Right here where this guy kind of goes in there, you can kind of see a little bit more of that shiny stuff right at the top of that metal. We had to insulate that whole part too, and that's really where like it was like caught up here, and I was like dying doing the one side, but got it done. Looks great. My dad did honestly a lot of the putting together of the ducts to like the either the registers, the boots or the air handler and stuff like that. He's been doing that for many years, so he's very efficient. The other big thing that we did, kind of like a big milestone or ceremonial thing, is we took down those lights. There was those yellow lights up here, and so it's still pretty bright up here because we put those like 4 actual lights on the switch down there. Up here, which is awesome, because we could definitely utilize this space for something, like not like crazy storage or anything, but like just maybe something, or I don't know. But now that we have another idea here, another documentation of what this attic looks like on April 20th, 2022, there's going to be another iteration, at least one, and that's going to be me coming back up here and really fixing up more of this insulation, because there's some of these bays that don't have insulation and shit like that. So I'm not doing that right now, but yeah, you can see like a pile of it way down there towards the end. Not very good. You're supposed to have everything in there, and if I can put all the insulation down, then I can kind of put some of these boards back, so you don't see the insulation, and then you could technically have that. I mean, that's just room for storage and stuff like that. The only thing, so I have to do that at some point, and I'd like to clean up a little bit more, although this is way cleaner than when we started. Like, there was shit everywhere over here. So I'm very excited. This is a huge progress. The only trouble with that now is that I have all this shit in the way. You can't step on this stuff. Like, you can't crush it or you're gonna fuck it up. So, but a lot of airflow, a lot of good stuff there going on. Very happy about that. The only thing we didn't really change was like 1, 2, 3. I don't know, whatever ones aren't black really. I think those gray supply runs, which I don't really think that's necessary. I think they're fine anyway. So the only other thing that I want to say here while I'm up here is that I may hold off on some of the like the board work at least, because right here is our living room, right? So we were over here like fucking with the lights and everything like that when we put those in. That was a crazy job, but Over in that area, well, actually a couple things. One, in this area right here, we have to do something about this fan that's behind all of this shit now. But we have to do something about the fan because that's definitely fucked up. That's not gonna fly. But we might be able to do most of that from the base, from the main floor down there in the bathroom, because I don't. We might be able to do something different is my point, but like we got to do something with that because that's not in good shape. But after we take care of that, the other thing is like the kitchen, and the kitchen's over in that region, and not too bad, but it's definitely worse than over here, like as far as mobility and like, you know, ways you can get around, and there's just more runs and shit like that. But the point is that if we wanted to put like kitchen lights up in the ceiling, similar to how we did in the living room, probably be over there, probably be a pain in the ass. I don't know when that would happen, what would happen there or whatever, but that's been the day so far. I'm probably just gonna kind of clean up and mark some things off the list because this was a huge upgrade. Our AC should be good now, should work well. I killed a hornet up here too. That's something to note because I don't know where he came from. Kind of concerning, but other than that, that's all I got. So that was a mission accomplished for sure. Also, a random find up here is an old newspaper from Wednesday, June 27th, 1979. So that's cool. House was built in 62. And apparently on that day, fresh lean ground chuck was $1.65 per pound. I have no idea what that is now. But also semi-boneless hams, $1.19 per pound. What's that say? $99 over invoice. How much is stuff here? $148 per month for a lease. Actually seems like expensive. What? Four-door. It's kind of like ripped, so I can't really see everything. Some guy with a dog. Ooh, some prices here. Inflation with this. Whirlpool Deluxe 2-speed washer, $257. I need to look up what a 2-speed washer costs now. Or like just any sort of washer. Deluxe non-frost. Refrigerator freezer. $383. Sick. Well, times have changed.